Alright, what's going on, everyone? You got Kyle from Sped Bets here, bringing you guys another breakdown for the fights, bringing you the best bets, the picks, everything like that. Just breaking down the fights in general. And we got the Yuri Prohashka versus Alex Pereira rematch card here. Supposed to be Connor. Connor's a little bitch, stubbed his toe, he pulled out, it is what it is. But yeah, let's start breaking this shit down. First fight here, I'm not going to be talking about every fight, I'm going to be talking about the fights that I think have value for betting. Fights that I kind of want to bet on. I'm going to give you guys some of my official bets here. If you want to see the rest, just join the Discord. Link's going to be in the description. It's totally free. I just want people in there to, promote it, get it growing a little bit. I don't want to give everything just on YouTube. And, it's just kind of a central place. Talk about the fights, talk about other bets. We got my man Schmoopy gives you a play of the day every day for baseball. He's on like a 5-day streak. Every single day it's hit. It's just ridiculous. But there's no reason not to join. It's totally free. If you don't like it in there, you want to leave, that's cool too. Just check it out, man. Why not? But as I was saying, we got Oliveira here, Vinicius Oliveira versus Ricky Simone. Ricky Simone's kind of a dog, I'm not going to lie. This guy got 2 takedowns on Song Yadong. The reason I'm bringing that up is because I think takedowns are going to be what's running this fight, alright? Taking down Song Yadong is not really an easy task. That guy's kind of got brick wall takedown defense. I value his takedown defense pretty highly. Ricky Simone got him down twice. He shot like 9 or 10 takedowns, but I think just getting him down twice, he's showing he's determined. If that's his game plan, that's how he wants to do it. And I think in this fight, Oliveira, he's a dangerous striker. He's not really the most technically sound, but he does throw with danger. He throws with urgency. But I can't ignore the fact that he was getting whooped up by fucking Sopaj on short notice, alright? Sopaj was taking him down. His takedown defense is so questionable, man. This guy on like 3 days notice, I think. This Sopaj was just a super late replacement. I remember I could barely even bet on him. Because I bet on Sopaj to win that fight because I was watching his regional tapes. I thought he was better. I was right, but he kind of gassed out because of short notice. But it is what it is. It wasn't a big bet or anything. And you see how that ended up on the right side here. Dude got fucking flatlined after he gassed out. But I think the play here is definitely Ricky. He's a little bit kind of a wide favorite. I don't know. I think the best bet is if you're going to go on underdog or prize picks, you want to go for the over 3 takedowns for Ricky. I think that's a pretty safe bet. I think he's not going to want to mess around with Oliveira. I think he can hang, but I think Oliveira's a lot more dangerous, and I think Ricky knows where he is in his career. He knows he needs a win. He's got to get back. Mario Bautista and Song Yadong are not bad losses. I'm not writing this guy off because he's losing to those guys. Mario Bautista's on the come up. He's actually pretty fucking good. I've faded him a few times. I've paid for it, all right? I faded him when he fought Damon Blackshear. That was a pretty bad one for me, but it is what it is. I thought Damon could have maybe won, but he fought fucking back-to-back weeks after twistering Jose Johnson. So, it is what it is. That might not have been the best fight to bet on, but I think if you want to hedge yourself, Oliveira by KO, it's a pretty decent hedge, plus 315, just because of the nature of the size of the dog he is. I don't think he's going to win a decision. He's not going to be winning the minutes. He might have a couple moments. He can win some moments, but he's not going to be winning the rounds. I think his really only shot here is just by knockout, maybe a Hail Mary knockout. Plus 315, that's an easy hedge, man. I like that a lot. Oh yeah, also, I just wanted to put this out there. The first 10 opponents that Oliveira faced, their records combined are 18-31. This dude's got the most padded fucking record I've seen in a long time, man. This guy's fighting some Khabib level opponents. All of his opponents are 0-2, 0-3, 0-3. This shit's just ridiculous, man. 18-31 for 10 fighters. But whatever. On to the next one here. We got my girl, Jillian Robertson here. All right, I'm excited for this one. I'm seeing people actually picking Waterson Gomez. I don't know how you can. She just got her fucking ass kicked. She brought her whole family there to watch her get her ass kicked. Dude, I know Marina Rodriguez is the next level, but this is just, Robertson is not dangerous on the feet. She has terrible striking. I'm not even going to try and pretend like that. Somehow Michelle Waterson is going to have the better striking in this matchup. She's fucking 40, dude. Jillian's 29. They're just in totally different places in their career. Waterson's on a huge loss streak. She's on her way out, fighting for paychecks to feed her kids. I mean, no disrespect by that. None at all. This is, you go out there, if you're alright with getting your ass kicked, fuck it. You can get some good money out of this. She's been in the UFC for so long. She's probably got a decent contract. She's been fighting some high-level opponents. But I think Jillian's just going to run through her with the takedowns. Ever since she moved to strawweight, she's been getting so many more takedowns. They've just been coming more naturally. Karate Hottie, she's, like I said, she's got the striking, but her grappling has just been questionable. Maybe 5-6 years ago, I would have picked her to be able to kind of skirt around the edges, use the cage size to get away from the takedowns, but I don't think so. I think Jillian's going to get her down. I think she's going to find a submission. Maybe not off the first takedown, but off the second or the third for sure. I just think Waterson is just, I don't know. She's been subbed a few times. It's a person who gets subbed versus a person who generally does the subbing. I can't bet against that. Jillian Robertson, for me, is a pretty high confidence favorite here. We got Peyton Talbot. I'm going to go really deep into this one. He's a minus 1,600 favorite. All right, we got the next fight coming up here. We got Cub Swanson versus Touchy Feely. I really enjoyed watching Touchy Feely get fucking flatlined by Ige. If you guys don't know about my boy Ige, this guy will flatline knock out any single featherweight that is not in the rankings, but he will lose every time he fights up. This guy's the definition of a gatekeeper, and it's been some pretty good money, man. It's been some pretty good money. I don't remember if Feely was the favorite. There's no way he was the favorite against Ige, but holy shit, I remember nuking Ige by knockout, man. He just gets a highlight reel performance when he beat the shit out of Nate Landwehr. Oh my god. But it is what it is. And then here we got Cub Swanson. Dude's old, man. I'll just say it how it is. Dude is old, okay? He opened as the favorite. He's like minus 140, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. Now he's a 2-1 dog. I don't know how that happens, but Feely's chin is gone. Just decimated. Burrito and Ige, I know those are two hard-hitting featherweights, but dude, they fucking ran through him. I mean, yeah, they hit hard. Yeah, I know, but fuck, man. I can't ignore those knockouts. He just got fucking destroyed. Cub, he's kind of a weird one for getting knocked out, because Feely, he hits hard. That right hook, if he gets you with the right hook, you're probably going down. But I can't say that for Cub, man. His two recent TKO losses is body kicks to Giga and leg kicks to Jonathan Martinez. I think if you're going to go down to body kicks and leg kicks, those are probably the two people that you would go down to that to, if you know what I mean. Martinez is kind of only leg kicks. Aldo exposed the fuck out of him. If you check the leg kicks, he's got nothing for you. And then Giga is just... Dude, I hate Giga. I'm not going to lie. I hate Giga. He's just a body kick merchant, in my opinion. But whatever. I don't know too much about him. Don't take too much into that, but to see last time Cub Swanson actually got finished, you have to go back to like WEC 41 or some shit when Jose Aldo flying kneed him like 5 seconds into the fight. If you couldn't tell, give me the value here. It's like plus 170, plus 180 for Cub Swanson. I know he's old. I know he didn't beat Hakeem Dawodu, but like, dude, I don't know. I can't trust Feely, man. It's not going to be a crazy bet, but I think Cub Swanson has a real shot at finding the chin. Feely is not as good as these odds should suggest, given where they both are in their careers. They're both just been trading wins and losses in the UFC for the past how many years? I think they both have double-digit losses. Maybe Cub only has 9, but he should have lost his last fight, so give him 10. I don't know. I just think the finishing equity's on Cub. Obviously, Feely hits really hard with that right hand. If he catches Cub, absolutely he can knock him out. I can't see it, man. We haven't seen Cub get knocked out like that in so long. We'll go on to the next one here. We got the boy Joe Pyfer, all right? I'm going to put this out there before anything else happens. I picked Hermanson to beat Pyfer, all right? I picked it. I'm proud of that pick. I brag about that every chance I get. I'm not going to lie. A little bit of my pick was based on hate. I do not like Joe Pyfer. But, 5-round fight when you're very inexperienced never goes well, okay? That's all I'm going to say about that. Back to the 3-rounders. Marc-Andre, he's got cardio for days, but I don't think it's going to matter. I think maybe he can win the 3rd round. Absolutely. Joe Pyfer's probably going to gas himself out in the first 2. But I think he's going to win the first 2. I thought he won the first 2 against Hermanson. If it's a 3-round fight, he wins 2, loses 1. That's cool with me. I don't care about that. Fuck it. I don't know if Joe Pyfer is going to be able to find the chin, but I think he's just going to be touch and bury alt in ways that I cannot discuss on YouTube. I think he's going to be doing some crazy shit, all right? If you're losing to Chris Curtis, you're not fucking good. I'm just going to say that. People fading Joe Pyfer for his last fight are fucking stupid, man. This guy is really good. He's really talented. He's super young. To say that he's not going to improve on a fight-to-fight basis is absolutely crazy. The UFC obviously loves this kid. They gave him that giant step up. I think he's going to... Dude, I keep wanting to say that he's gonna knock out Marc Andre, but I can't see it, man. Marc Andre hasn't been knocked out in so long. I think he only has one knockout loss in the UFC. That could be wrong. Don't quote me on that, but I think Joe Pyfer's gonna win a comfortable decision. Maybe he finds a finish. I think he's probably gonna drop Marc Andre. Guy gets hit a lot, but he's tough. Mark also, yeah, he isn't like this defensive maestro. He's going to get hit. He's going to feel Pyfer's power. I'm not going to do that whole cringe fucking you want to be like Joe Pyfer shit, but... Alright, and the next one here, we got the zesty boy Ian Gary versus Michael Venom Page. I'm not even going to put a picture up of Michael Venom Page. That dude is so fucking ass, alright? We all knew he was going to beat Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland's not good. Ian Gary, look at this picture of him grappling is insane, man. I hate how he clinches, but he's shown that he does not care about entertaining the fans. He doesn't give two shits, alright? If he wants to stink it up and wrestle, he will. He took Jeff Neal to a split decision, I believe. Man, that's... I feel like if you're going to be like a top prospect, you probably got to beat Jeff Neal a little bit better than that, like the Shavkat finish kind of way, but it is what it is. He showed that he's willing to do what it takes to get a win. In the regionals and Cage Warriors, he was grappling. He got a submission. He can grapple. He hasn't had to show that in the UFC yet because no one's really tested him there. But he can absolutely do that. He was talking about for the Kobe fight that he wanted. He wants to show off his grappling. He wants to show off his jiu-jitsu. I think he's going to leg kick MVP, get him to stand still a little bit, and then he's going to shoot him for a takedown, push him up against the cage, hold him there. I just think it's going to be a pretty boring fight. People are hyping this up like it's going to be super entertaining, and it absolutely could be if Ian Gary wants to risk his zero. I don't think he does. I think Ian Gary's going to keep his zero. I think he's going to get a stinky-ass decision win. And I think he's going to have like 7 to 8 minutes of control time. MVP, he is dangerous. I see people saying that he's going to get like some flying knee or like flying kicks and shit. If you look at the people that he was doing those kind of finishes to, they should not have been fighting, man. Those guys did not deserve to be in the octagon or whatever you want to call it in Bellator, man. They're just not good opponents. They're not real fighters. They're just people that were fighting for money. They didn't have any business being in the octagon, is what I'm trying to say. I think also Ian Gary has better boxing. MVP's got the kicks. He's got the tricky little kicks, the karate stance, all that. I think Ian Gary, if they get in close, he's going to light up MVP, man. He's avoiding Kevin Holland because Kevin Holland doesn't know how to fucking strike, but I think Ian Gary can light him up, man. I don't think he's going to get a finish. In my opinion, this is a long shot call here. I think Ian Gary by sub is kind of live. I'm definitely going to be sprinkling that. That's an official bet. Maybe just a quarter unit on Ian Gary by sub. I don't even know what the odds are offhand, but the big bet's going to be Ian Gary by decision. The sub is more of just a hedge. You could do a sub or decision kind of prop if your book allows that, but mine doesn't. So we're just going to go with what we got. And then here we go. All right, the next fight, man. I'm either going to lose you or I'm going to keep you for good with this one, all right? I'm going to look like the GOAT or a total clown. I'm not sure which. But I'm just going to say this, all right? Don't click off the video when I say this. I know a lot of people don't want to hear this. Dude, Diego Lopez is overrated as fuck. He's hype. Abso-fucking-lutely. He's hype. His fights are exciting. He just sparked Sadiq Youssef and Pat Sabatini. I love this guy. I want Diego Lopez to win. I really do. I think it's better for the division. It's better for the UFC. I don't care to see Brian Ortega get 50-44'd by Ilya. I see everyone saying this is like a stylistically fantastic matchup for Diego Lopez. I don't see that, man. He's shown in his last couple fights, he just wants to go in there, brawl, get him out of there early, and that's it. You can't do that to Brian Ortega. This guy's made a career out of surviving. Like, how many strikes did he take against Max? Was like 290 or 300 strikes, significant strikes against Max Holloway. I know everyone's going to be like, oh, pillow hands Holloway. No, not really. Like, obviously in the fourth and the fifth, the punches don't have the same sting that they did at the first. No, not many people. Diego Lopez is not taking 290 sig strikes from Max Holloway. I'm just going to say it how it is. He took over 200 from Volk. Might have been like 220 or something. Volk probably hits a little bit less hard than Holloway, but he's still got some sting, man. He rocked Yair with that hook with the body kick, and I don't know. You're not finishing Brian Ortega. If you're picking Diego Lopez by round 1 knockout, you're fucking stupid. All right? I'm just going to say that. You are stupid. Could it happen? Absolutely. But for people that are saying they are confident and that's their call for this fight, I just think you're a moron. I think you don't know who Brian Ortega is. I think you haven't watched those fights. His only 2 losses are one because his eyes swelled shut against Max Holloway and the doctors had to step in. He would have kept going. Fuck it. I don't think Max would have finished him. I think Brian Ortega would have lasted another 5 minutes with Holloway. And then against Yair with the shoulder injury. Are we really a shoulder injury? I mean, look what he did to Yair in the rematch. He might have got 10-8'd in the first round, but that's kind of what he does, all right? That's why right here, this is a little sneaky kind of bet here. I'm betting this fight to go to a split or majority decision at plus 450 odds. All right, I think Diego Lopez is very live to 10-8 Brian Ortega in the first round, unload his whole clip, and then lose the last 2, and it could end in a tie. My official pick, notice I said my pick, not my bet, is Brian Ortega by decision. However, I know Diego Lopez is good. I understand. He's very fucking good, okay? I'm not taking that away from him. I'm just saying that chinning Pat Sabatini and Sadiq Youssef, whose chins have never been there, it doesn't warrant all this hype. Diego Lopez should not be the favorite, man. That's just my opinion. Obviously, a lot of people are super confident in Diego Lopez. I can give you my side. I can't knock it. The guy's hype. The guy is on the come up for sure. Very close fight. Nah, I can't even say a close fight. He lost very clearly to Movsar. He had moments, but he wasn't winning the rounds. He wasn't winning the minutes. He had those submission attempts that looked really good, kind of like Brian Ortega against Volk. That sub attempt looked really good, but he still clearly lost the fight. I can't say this enough. I don't give a fuck about him chinning Pat Sabatini and fucking Sadiq Youssef, all right? That's a better win because Sadiq is dangerous himself, all right? He almost got Edson out of there in one round, but then he fucking just got his shit rocked up for the rest of the fight. Because his chin isn't there. Edson doesn't, this is another crazy take, Edson doesn't hit that hard anymore, and he's just bouncing Sadiq across the octagon, man. That was a great performance by Edson, but Jesus, Sadiq should have got him out of there. I don't know. The official pick, the official bet for me is this fight over 2.5 rounds plus money. All right, I don't think Diego Lopez is going to finish Brian Ortega. I think the only person with any finishing equity would be Brian Ortega in a round 3 submission possibility. If you go on Underdog Fantasy right now, the line for this fight is 10 minutes flat. That is the easiest over I've ever seen in my life. Like I just said, I think the only finishing potential is Brian Ortega in the 3rd round. Let me just get this out there too. If Diego Lopez walks out there and sparks Ortega in the 1st round, I will be the first to admit that he is good. He is the real deal. He is the total package. I'm just saying that with what we know about Diego Lopez, there should be no reason that anybody is confidently saying that he can do that. Anything's possible. Brian Ortega could knock out Diego Lopez. Anything's fucking possible, all right? But I don't see that happening. Brian Ortega, he's not going to knock out Diego Lopez. Just like I don't think Diego Lopez is going to knock out Brian Ortega. It's just 2 things that could happen, but most likely aren't. And if we're talking about on the mat, Brian Ortega's jiu-jitsu is just as good, if not better, than Diego Lopez. I don't know why people think that subbing Gavin Tucker means you have the best jiu-jitsu in the world. They're like, oh, Diego has more submission wins. Brian Ortega would submit every fucking opponent that Diego Lopez has subbed. That's not even a question. He might get hit a little bit more than Diego Lopez, but he's going to sub every single one of them. I don't know. This fight's going the distance. I'm sprinkling the split or decision prop. And now let's get into the real talk here, all right? My man, Yuri Prochazka. All right, I'm going to open this section with saying, openly, I am very biased right here. Yuri is my favorite fighter. I am very biased in this pick. But there's a reason I'm making this pick, and I'm going to break that down for you, all right? Click off the video if you want. I'm picking Yuri. I'm just going to get it out there. That's the pick. I'm going to be betting Yuri. That's the bet. But let me explain why, all right? Yuri's this goofy-ass striker. Came in kind of out of nowhere. Out of Ryzen, I believe. And then he's just... like, look at this on the left, dude. He had no intention of blocking that punch. He doesn't care. Yuri likes being hit, I swear to God. He doesn't check leg kicks. He just kind of eats punches sometimes. He's charging up, all right? He's training with the monks right now. You can't make this shit up. This guy's in it. And then here we go. Here's what I'm going to be talking about. Yuri has some type of divine intervention when he's in the octagon. He's losing every fight that he's in until he's not. Okay, against Volkan Ozdemir, he was kind of getting touched up, and then he just put Volkan on a t-shirt. In my head, I'm thinking Yuri's a time traveler, and he did that shit for my boy Johnny Walker. Rest in peace, Johnny Walker, man. That was not a good look last weekend. But then against Dominic Reyes, he's knocked out. He self-admittedly was knocked out right here. And then he fell onto Dominic Reyes, landed in side control, and woke back up, and then finished him with the elbow combo. He was literally knocked out. The fight could have been ended, and Yuri wouldn't have contested it. He admitted that he was out, and he still came back and won. And then we go to the Glover fight. You see in the bottom right there, the scorecards. He wasn't winning. It's the 5th round. He was not winning. All right, he could have gotten it on one card, but he wasn't winning the fight. It would have been a split decision to Glover probably. And then out of nowhere, he just summons his divine intervention, and he manages to sub Glover to Shiro. What? I don't know about you guys, but I don't think anybody in the world bet on Yuri to sub Glover. If anybody has a screenshot of that slip that they've submitted, send that shit to me, because that needs to go up in a museum. Nobody was betting that, all right? And then we'll talk about the Pereira first fight in a second, but against Rakic, he's just getting lit up in the first round. His legs are chopped. Joe Rogan is, oh my God, his legs are compromised. Dude, shut the fuck up, Joe Rogan. I hate you. Anyways, he's just getting pieced up, and then suddenly he just decides that he's had enough. He just he rocks Rakic on the cage, does that weird-ass little takedown where he just kind of grabbed him by the back of the head, threw him to the mat, started elbowing the shit out of him. He has a spirit with him, man. He has a spirit. He calls on it when he's losing, and then he finds a win every single time. Which is why we go back to this fight right here. In the moment, and still, I'm going to say it was a little bit of an early stoppage. Now, it's not a crazy early stoppage. It's not like the Cannonier stoppage recently. That one was terrible. This one, Yuri fell back. Pereira was on top of him. It's reasonable to say that the ref was just saving Yuri from taking unnecessary damage from Pereira. Pereira's got some nasty ground and pound. When he was bouncing Jamal's head like a basketball, that was fucking awesome. I love seeing that. But here's my counterpoint. All right, what if Yuri was just mid-summoning ritual right here? He was trying to call to his spirit, and he would have somehow found a way to reverse this position. All right, obviously I'm speaking entirely hypothetical here. There's no proof, no merit, no nothing to anything I'm saying right now. I'm just speaking from the heart, okay? I like to believe that if this fight wasn't stopped, Yuri would have somehow, some way, found a way out of this mount situation, and he would have come back to win the fight. Again, I have no reason for why I'm saying that, other than it's just Yuri, and that sounds like a Yuri thing to do. I think this fight's going to go very similar to the first one. I think Yuri's not going to check the leg kicks. He's not going to watch out for the hook. He was beating Pereira up in the first one, man. He had Pereira on skates for a little bit, backing up into the cage. You know, there is a real possibility that Yuri just runs up and eats a left hook again. That could definitely happen. I'm just hoping that Mark Goddard here lets Yuri talk to his spirit first. He can figure out whether Yuri's going to win the fight or not, and then he can call it. I got to pick Yuri, man. I think also, on a serious note here, the short notice nature of this fight benefits Yuri way more than Pereira. Pereira is huge. This guy walks around like 230, 240. Yuri barely cuts any weight. This guy's talking about going down to 185. This weight cut was not bad for Yuri, I promise you. Pereira, I can't say the same. I think Pereira's going to make weight. He's a professional. He does this. He's been doing this. He's made weight how many times for kickboxing? But it's going to be tough, man. Like, I'm just going to say this. There's a chance Diego Lopez misses weight for the Yair fight. Diego Lopez is fucking huge for featherweight. This guy's massive, shredded, solid muscle. He probably sits around 170, and he's, like, lean. I bet Diego makes weight. He is a professional as well. The UFC clearly wants him to win. They're probably going to make sure that he's making weight and all that stuff. But just something to keep in mind. I really want to see my man Yuri get the win. I'd love to see this as a trilogy. I'd love to see Magomed have to wait even longer for a title shot. Fuck that guy. cheating bitch against Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker should have got that DQ win right back in title contention, but hey, it is what it is, man. Johnny Walker, he got a little bit unlucky, I guess. Yeah, that's all we got for today. Those are the picks. Gave you a couple bets here. If you want all the rest of the bets, they're going up in the Discord. We got Prize Picks, Underdog, Better, all that stuff, man. FanDuel, DraftKings, BetOnline, everything, man. We got everything in there. We're doing MLB too. We're doing all sports in fall. We're going to be doing football again. Football cannot wait for that to be back, man. Hockey regular season, NBA, everything's going to be in there. It's all totally free. Don't have to pay for shit. Just click the link, join up, say what's up, or don't. If you don't want to, that's cool. Don't matter. But yeah, we'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.